All right, we'll do the Sunday night chant and chat. Hey, yeah, 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 yeah. Meow. Yep, it's about feeding time, so these guys are going to be probably a pain in the ass but I'm going to make them wait. It's a good 20 minutes early, so they can handle it. They didn't do a damn thing today but sleep. I wasn't here, but I know it. But they were all eager to see me when I got back, so it's fun. It's more or less manageable. 5. Doesn't get too bad. It sucks having to have two litter traps. I guess I could do one, but I'd be changing it 4 times a day. So, which, hey. I look at things like that, like when you're changing a litter box, which isn't pleasant, but the whole bending over and having to move stuff to do it, kind of exercise. Still beats hitting the gym. Not that you're lifting a lot, but the moving and, So just got back from Charlotte's Web Pub. Played yesterday and today. And I am beat. Played outside. And it is just hot. Just the hydration wears you out. But it was the best jam I've ever had, no doubt. I'll be putting them up over the next coming days. I put this out first, announcing and discussing them, and then I put them up. That's the desired order. My assessment, that I put them up, and if you choose to watch, which I hope you do, and subscribe and like and recommend to your friends, but and then you can make your own judgment. But I thought it was hands down my best jam, and here's the deal. So the first set was pretty long, and that went all right. That went good, I thought. And then these guys came out. Nobody was there for the most of the time. A couple cigarettes were smoked, but these 2 guys come out of the bar. One's there every time, at the bar every time. I played inside one time, but and they've said nice things. They don't really give a shit. But anyway, they come out to smoke, and you can just do it out in the back there, no problem. Not the place I mentioned, this place we were at. And he's got his shirt, he's like calling it a Sherlock Holmes pipe. But I had just finished the first set, so I walked right over there. Because there's a lot of that going on, and nobody's getting the musician high, and that's not right. So I invited myself, and they got me good and fried. I'm still fried. Then the rain was coming. And so I knew I didn't have long, so I did a ukulele set. It felt like an hour, but it turns out it was only 20 minutes. I hope I got it all, because it was the best fucking set of my life. Judge for yourself, but I opened up with eyes. I was going to play guitar, but then I just was like, I'm feeling it, and I'm short for time, so I did Eyes of the World, and I thought it was pretty damn good. I had to cough. And then I just jammed. I think I did Girl from Ipanema without any words. Want to Be Like You, the Disney tune. That was pretty cool. That was cool. Werewolves of London, and I couldn't remember. I tried. You'll see. I just waited for a while until I just gave up. But hear him howling around your kitchen door. You better not let him in. Could not remember that line. I think I got it now. It's the second verse, So I hit it with. I knew it wasn't it, but he's the hairy-handed gent. I knew that wasn't this. I knew it wasn't it, but I could not remember it. And I got the next line, because that's singing mutilated. It's pretty fun. Mutilated lady got murdered late last night. It's an alliteration. With late. And then it started raining. It never came in rain full blast, but it was getting wet. It was blowing. So I think I stated I didn't want one of my. It was blowing hard enough. I didn't want one of my guitars to get blown over. And it was wet, but it was just a sprinkle kind of. And I could see the sheet of rain off in the distance, and it got closer, but it stopped. I guess it just went north or south, or stopped. And then, so I had a good little jam while I waited another half hour to see if it was going to rain. And then I had one last set, and it went just stick with the acoustic sonic, and I thought it was pretty good. I was working on shit. I did Loose Lucy, which I think I did in like a home video, but this was the first time because I'm having trouble with the verse where I want thank you for a real see the riff starts for a real good when you're singing and doing the riff, but I think I might have got it when I was talking about that. Because a couple of the songs I was just talking about learning them and what I was working on. And then I'd maybe do a song I knew. And it was kind of fun. See, that's what I would like to do if I get to 50 subscribers, is I can stream. Like my Man-bun. That's what it looks like. When you look at it that way, does it change everything? It does for me. I'm somewhat disturbed. Imagine if I had a Man-bun like that. I get a Man-bun. I drive a BMW and I still wouldn't want to drive a BMW. If I had that money, I'd never get a BMW. And yesterday's jam, it was a few people there at times. And they liked it. But yesterday was solid. I think I've got kind of, I think it's pretty good, but I've got a good solid, I didn't repeat anything yesterday and today. Unless I was I was going to do Must Have Got Lost again, but I didn't. And that's, I played about almost 3 hours today, and yesterday was probably closer to 4, and just didn't repeat anything. And all the songs I did, for the most part, I got pretty good. A couple of the new ukulele tunes I'm working on still. I hear music. I'm going to hopefully be whipping out a Tropical Hawaiian Day. That's got a riff I got to get down and sing. Both Ka'au Crater Boy tunes. Oh, dude, I tell you, they're on YouTube, iTunes. Get yourself, it's a guitar player and an ukulele player. How can you not just acoustic and the ukulele player fucking jams? Troy Fernandez, he was one of the first of the younger generation, started in like the late 80s. Big guy, and I ended up meeting him. No, I bought a CD from him in Waikiki when I got to Hawaii in 2008, like the second night. His daughter was singing, and I've told this story before, but it's one of my favorite stories. Anything with Hawaii, but this was cool. Because it turned out he was a great one to get to know. Or have met or seen. But his daughter was singing karaoke style. She's probably about 10. Right on a street corner. And busy Friday night or whatever. I guess every night. I don't know what a night. But it was busy. Not Kalakaua Avenue. And that's the one that runs right on the beach. The street back. And those two streets together. They kind of make a big rectangle. That's but she was singing. And he was selling his CDs, and he's a big guy, but not like muscular big, or just cut. He's not one of those huge Samoan. He's a big Samoan guy, but not. And I bought one of his CDs, and the other CD I bought there in Hawaii was in a store in the Ala Moana Mall, but it was Yesterday and Today by Eddie Kamai, who was with Gabby, the originator of the Sons of Hawaii. And that was a stab in the dark. I just kind of assessed the cover and hit the look of him, and it was a close-up of Eddie with his one of those little derby caps, and just looked, I'm like, yeah. I think I might have gotten Bill Tapia too, and that was a live one. He was famous for doing Little Grass Shack. I want to go back to my Little Grass Shack in Kalakaua, Hawaii, which I did today. Yeah, I think that was in the. Yeah, I don't know if I played a little ukulele in the first set, but that was good. I slowed it down. I did Throwing Stones, but I slowed it down a little bit. You know, the toughest part, that's a tough song to sing and play with the riffs. But when you do the We Are On Our Own, We Are On Our Own, that's the toughest part because you don't have to do what I'm trying to do, but I'm trying to do the, you know, instead of just, you know, I'm trying to go, We Are On Our Own, On Our Own, On Our Own. That's where the solo comes in. And I had mixed success on the, I think for the most, but it's hard to sing. And then picture a bright blue ball just spinning, spinning free. Dizzying possibilities. I guess I just don't know the words enough. It's not, it shouldn't be, it won't be too bad. I've been playing that a long time, and I've only moderately, you know, I've improved with the riff. But that, I did that, and then I closed the set with American Girl, and I played that one a little slower. Keep forgetting the key part, the hard part to remember is she couldn't help from thinking that one. Oh yeah, you know that one. The only part that she, what is it? Dying she, that one little promise she. I did that twice. That part of that, the two verses there are. You know, that's the end of one. Well, she couldn't help thinking dying. And the other one is couldn't help thinking it's something. I can't remember it totally. I gotta just like he's a Harry Hind. Nope. See, hear him howling around your kitchen door. Better not let him. I gotta learn. But what happens? I keep fucking that one up. So I think when I go look at it, I will remember it now. It becomes a, you know, there's a song I think I got down pretty well, except that one thing. So that, and I usually do that one without even looking at the lyrics, which is why I always forget that one. But that's where that is. I just identified that's the one line that I can't remember. Same with Werewolves of London. That's not the first. I can never remember. Hear him howling around your kitchen door. You better not let him in. Little old lady got mutilated late last night. Werewolves of London again. That's verse 2. And I'm going tomorrow. I talked to him. I went in the bar. The girl Brittany, nice, great. They're all great. I've been doing, this is the only, I just walked in there and asked and they let me and I keep coming back. So it's, and they keep letting me. I might try and play inside tomorrow, at least the first set. I like, you know, outdoors is ultimately, to me, the best, you know? You want more people there, but it's hotter than hell here. But, yeah, playing indoors, you know, I just get a little self-conscious. I know I'm playing rare tunes, you know, like where everything. I hope everybody knows Werewolves London. I did Mary Jane's Last Dance in the first set, went fairly decently. You know, that's another one, playing the harmonica and doing it on ukulele. That I have a hell of a time with the first verse. She had a good look. I can't even think of it now. And it's, you know what part of it is? I wrote the lyrics out, and for some reason, I thought I wasn't going to have room. So you know how you would write, you know, the first line, then the second line, and say there's 4 lines in them. For some reason, I wrote the first line, started the second line, and I still haven't adjusted to reading it that way, which is just retarded that I did it that way. And I keep fucking it up. See, you got to do, she grew up tall, she grew up right. And because you got to remember, the right has to be second because it rhymes with night, you know, with them Indiana boys on them Indiana night. So, and that line's like, instead of just being written one straight across my page, it's half of it's here. And I never look before I start. I'm just like, I start and then I'm like, oh yeah, I got this one down. But that's coming together. Still didn't do Ship of Fools. That's like my first song I remembered all the lyrics to, and I think I play it well. The one time I played it, I've only played it like once in all these. I've played like probably over 20 sets. I played it one time and I frigged it up. The second verse, I fell apart, I remember. But I'm not worried about that. I know I got it down. But if you don't do it, you lose. You use it or lose it. That's the thing, you know. It was a. I did Harder They Come today, and I could not remember the first verse. And I never had problems with the first verse. Tell me there's a pie up in the sky. I could not think. I didn't do it. I just started with the second verse. After a long, awkward, just going through the chords, or just yeah. I couldn't. Tell me there's a pie up in the sky. That was a little rough. I don't play it. That was another tune. I kind of for ukulele. I got that down pretty solid. Kind of my own sort of arrangement, you know. And so now I don't do it enough. Same with Tiki Torches. Even though I've done that a few more times here at Charlotte's. Sometimes you're doing another song and like if it's the same key even, and you think like you can go right into this other tune and the rhythm's so different and I couldn't find it. And then that's when the rain came. Like, so I kind of had a few moments of normalcy. Because that's a tune I know very well. But The Eyes of the World, I played that as I knew I nailed it. Still probably a couple hiccups in there, but I mean, it was strong, I think. That was possibly my best jam ever. And the singing, everything came together, even though I had to cough. I was just really felt like I was singing right where I should. And I knew it, and that's the key is I know it. You know, I didn't even look for the words for that. I didn't have to check them beforehand. Although I do sometimes mess up those verses, you know, like Here Comes a Redeemer, or the last one. Sometimes we visit. No, see, it's sometimes we visit your country. Sometimes we visit. I don't even know it. See, yeah, I don't know that part good enough. But today I think I got it right. But the rest of it, so I'm able to like sing it relaxed. You know, I got the chords and I got the fucking words for the most part. And I think it was noticeable. And I'm excited for tomorrow. And I saved all my, like I do Ballad of Irish Hayes, Liberty. There was a couple other I noticed. Those were the two main ones that for Memorial Day. Maybe I'll do Young Americans again. Not that that has anything to do with valor or memorializing someone. What else can we do? It'll come to me. I bring the lyric books in and I go through and try and bring shit to the top that I'm gonna do. Maybe start thinking about the first tune. Could be Liberty. Probably will be Liberty. Heroes, probably do Heroes by Bowie. That's a tough one. Like I can play that one all right, you know, and it sounds pretty good on the acoustic, but you know, it just doesn't sound, you know, that's a fucking killer but David Bowie voice song, you know, and it just but you know, I found there's a certain level where you know if you put it you've got to bring it. There's this and it's an indescribable thing when you're singing a song that can take it from just being like this guy sucks and I know my shit's rough and I fuck up all the time, but and where you're like the people see that you're into it and they're like a little rough but he's into it, you know, and I would think that they just are like entertained. Watching you being intense or whatever. Maybe that's what I believe. And the kid Daniel, I think he's Brittany's the owner. His girlfriend, his boyfriend, her boyfriend. Maybe they're married. I don't know. But he like shook my hand at the end, so he's like management or owner, co-owner or something, and he's just like, do your originals stuff. We're all cool, and they have been. They've been great. Like when I played indoors last week, they were all cool. They don't know what the hell I'm doing for the most part. I try and throw everybody a bone. I'm not trying to be difficult. First of all, playing Start Me, I don't want to play Start Me Up, just as an example. And it wouldn't be good. I can't imagine that. I've Touch of Grey, I think, is doable solo. Start Me Up, I don't think you could even do. I guess if you totally changed it. Yeah. So, yes, obviously, bluegrass or something and fucking, but, but I try and, Werewolves of London, Mary Jane's Last Dance, Sympathy for the Devil, Young Americans. I would hope that I do think that that's a borderline whether everybody is even familiar with it, especially today, the younger kids. I got to tell you, I'm so happy playing that song. I love that song. And it never struck me as a song you could do solo acoustic. And maybe you agree with that. But I enjoy doing it, and I think I have my moments. I think it was pretty good the other day. I did it yesterday. But yesterday's gone. But that wasn't a song I thought that's kind of a big production. It's cool. Like, and even doing the little, like, ding. Have you been an un-American? Just you and your idol singing falsetto about leather everywhere. Not a myth left from the ghetto. Well, would you carry a razor? Just in case of depression. Sit on your hands on a bus of survivors. Look at all those Afro sheeners. Ain't that cost of love? Ain't that post of love? Ain't that Barbie doll? Her heart's been broken just like you, yeah, all night. She wants a young American. She wants a young American. Whoa. It was there. It's still a little sloppy, but I got it. I don't hit it every time in the heat of the battle, but I will soon. The other one I worked out, I've had it written down for a while. It's one of my favorite tunes, and it would be one of yours if you know it and knew it. Aye, people, now you're hugging up the big monkey man. Never heard of you, but I see you hugging a monkey, won't you? Aye, people, now you're hugging up the big monkey man. funny, like when you're learning a riff, open A string, then the D string, second, fourth fret back to second, then open A, second, fourth, fifth, seventh. Yeah, then the D string, fourth fret up to the sixth. Back to the second on the D string. Then the seventh string, fourth, second. But you know, when you're first doing it, you're doing... But then once you get it down, you start getting cocky. You're just using the one finger, you know. It's like, and it's fun because once you know, and it's fun. Today I hope is the day where I took it. Obviously, that's about where I'm at. So I more or less, I got it down, but I'm trying to do it totally fast. Sometimes I get, but I'll hit on it because that's. If you don't know, Toots and the Maytals. They do a version of Country Roads, but right there, their two greatest tunes for me are Sweet and Dandy and Monkey Man. And then they, of course, did Pressure Drop, Time Tough. Life is getting harder and harder, harder and harder. Time Tough. And I remember I used to work on the road and I was in Utah at the canyons. Toots and the Maytals played and it snowed. He's up there in black leather pants, leather jacket, black shades. It was snowing. And he played. It was a good 90-minute, 2-hour set, man. Fucking great. Awesome. That's the second time I saw him. He opened for I saw the Jay Giles Band reunion show with Peter Wolf at Great Woods and they opened up. Because, you know, Peter Wolf's he's kind of like me as far as music. He's like a genuine fan. And he knew. And I've told this story before, but remember Ray Davies went on a solo tour. Storyteller tour. He'd talk about his songs and play them. And went to the, I want to say like the Wang Theater. It was an odd theater. I think I got a poster. It might have been the Orpheum. But anyway, it was meeting Peter Wolf for the only two guys sitting up in the balcony. He was like 6 seats to my right, just the two of us. He sat there. I didn't say nothing to him. Great tune. Great tune. Oh, monkey. Aye, Peter, now you're hugging up the big monkey man. Never saw you, but I heard of you. The monkey on me. Aye, people, now you're hugging up the big monkey man. Just gotta put all it is, folks. Play. The more you play, the better you get, and there'll always be things you notice too. It's very rewarding. You keep playing, and like there's licks. Like I was learning that Tropical Hawaiian Day has a bunch of little licks, and I couldn't do them at all. Within 20 minutes of just doing it over and over and over again. It's there. You know, I still screwed up like this one a teeny bit, but for the most part, and as long as I stay on it, another week, it'll be, you know. And that's a whole thing. Like doing licks on the ukulele while singing, that'll be another level that I'm not at now. You know, I can do any rhythm more or less, but I don't do too many licks. You know, like when I do the intro to and this is the one I've been doing longest, so but it's kind of a Garcia lick he does there. Garcia does, and but I have been afraid to do that live, so I just do. Well, they tell me of a pie up in the sky, waiting for me when I die. Between the day you're born and when you die, they never seem to hear even your cry. Well, as sure as the sun will shine, I'm gonna get my share. Harder they come, harder they fall, one and all. Harder they come, harder they fall, one and all. See? I actually got that part down more. And the one I need to get to is my brown sugar. I said, yeah. Brown sugar, how come you taste so good? So you just make sloppy mistakes there. But that's because it's not totally like I'm thinking about the lyric, what lyrics coming up next, and a little bit. I rewrote them for the woke age. We're going after fat people in China. Which should all be tongue-in-cheek. With a taste of seriousness, which makes it more effective. You know, China bound, steamer bound for Port Manatee. Picking up those crystals feed our obesity. Rich old doctor says you'll be all right. But if you keep eating like that, your pants are gonna get tight. Boom, boom, now. Brown sugar, see? Because I've talked about this before, but it's one of the big themes of my life, a big song, my favorite group. Brown sugar is awesome. Like, legitimately, like, I was, like, even as a little kid, I knew there was a sexual innuendo or outright, but I also knew that I'm like, that's good, because brown sugar is good. Like, he's really nailed something. There's the picks. I forgot all my picks. I put them there. But I'm like, he's on to something. That's a good lyric. Because brown sugar really is good. All right, kitties. Let me grab the fork here, sweetheart. This is how it goes. I do have no control over them. So, but it's a good teacher to, you can't leave shit out. You know, I got a lot of shit, but it's kind of somehow cat-proof somewhat. cups go over. You know, you don't leave anything you don't want to lose. Just like you don't point your gun at anything you don't want to lose. You don't put anything that you don't want to lose on the edge if you have gas. Same concept. But I can't even put the plate down on the thing because I'd have like 5 cats. I wouldn't be able to adequately empty the can. One can for 5 cats, twice a day. Where's Billy? Yeah, buddy. God, my oldest, biggest cat, he's just a sweetheart. And it's funny because the littlest, Angie, she's pregnant, unfortunately, with her brother's friggin' baby. So I'm hopeful, you know, I love kittens, but there's always when it's the brother that it goes wrong. And I don't want her to be in pain, but if she has some stillborns, it wouldn't be bad for all of us. It's reality. But when it comes dinner time and Donald's chasing her around all the time, she's always in it with the other cats, she probably eats the most. Because when dinner time, those plates go down, nobody messes with her. This little peanut right here. And that's the other girl, Lola. And this is Zigaboo, who may be the father. I know he's done it with her, and so hasn't Billy. Donald a couple times. The small orange guy there. So I'm fearful that if it was Donald, that, you know, forever nature, because I think Zigaboo there has the same father, whereas Donald would have a different father. So that may be enough in the animal world that things go okay, because she's pregnant and she's due on the 28th to be. I was getting her fixed. Not sure I want to say kill him, you know, abort him or whatever. I don't know if they would or whatever. But yeah, I can't have any freaking kittens unless I know I can get rid of them. And the worst part is I'm sitting on the couch here. That's where she goes. Like Donald always chases her. They get into it and fucking... She's going to have them under there. And it's going to be a couple days before I even know. I'll be able to tell probably. But well, we'll see. She's going this week to the vet. We'll see what they say my options are. So that's it. Played Saturday and Sunday. Playing tomorrow. Didn't get any more gigs lined up this week. Yeah, I've been fucking hurting physically. I mean, thankfully not hurting, but more just back problems, probably from moving my cooler. Like, kind of limited physically, but it's just being out of shape or hurting the back. I know it's not like I have a pain inside that I'm like, I know something's bad. It's more just muscular. I'm not getting fatter anymore, I'm pretty sure. Still drinking Coke. I got rid of all my 1 liter ounce bottles, which is what you need in the RV fridge. See, they're going at it right now. And then, but I broke down this week. They had the Sambas on sale. And also the 1 liters, buy 2, get 1 free. And I ended up buying 6 of those. On separate occasions, I got the 3. I don't know. I'm curious to see what would happen if I could cut out soda. Just, you know. And I think I can do it. I'm gonna do it. But it's tough. It's the basis of many meals. You know, I like my milk with certain things, and I like Coke with certain things, and there's a few more of the Coke ones. What's up, buddy? And that's it. Then I might head down to my buddies in Pine Island this week. And in that case, there are some bars. There's like this Alligators. It says live music. There's some places I definitely got to stop. And that's it. You got to go in there and go, hey, I play music. Can I play here? The only problem you have is as you go into Fort Myers or Tampa, They have bookers. And I remember reading something about, or actually I think I was probably Ubering maybe somebody, but the guy who's in charge in like out in the Clearwater area, it's politics, you know? And these days, it might just be what your politics are. If they find out you're a Trumper or something, you're screwed. You know? Especially these liberal places. Like Tampa is as liberal as fucking Cape Cod, man. Clearwater. All those rich people. That myth of the rich businessmen who are business owner are Republicans. Yeah, and the people who still work. All the fucking Democrats steal their money or inherited it. And by steal it, I mean are in finances and shit. Too many of those guys. But there's politics, you know, and the favorites, and then again, there's the legitimate political possibility that might fuck you now, but you still got to call. You know, but somebody like me, I mean, say, yeah, I got shit up on YouTube. But you know what, man, I ain't gonna bullshit. That's who I am. I'm saying, I don't, you know, I'm not marching anywhere for anybody. But it is shocking that people could go for that other side. It's crazy. I read the dead net. I always go into the comments. You know, the topic will be the latest Dick's picks or the box set for the year. Those are the ones I read. Because those people are so into it, they'll tell you stuff, and it's just interesting. But they're all fucking liberals. They're all these liberals, and it's all these same people that mainly comment on that. And they have this whole one, like, it's called the new trouble ahead news or something, you know, the play on the Casey Jones. And they're just all these MAGA shitheads. They don't say shithead, but more or less they do fuck them with a PH, and they'll find out what they're voting for. They're too stupid, you know. And it comes down to that. It is a lot of the condescending, all these liberal douchebags who think they're saving other people, you know, and are like professors and all this sort of thing. We're not racist. We need to help the black people. Really, I don't think you do. I think they do very well on their own without any help from the white man. That's what I think. Maybe you should start thinking that too, instead of being the white savior. You're the one, without you, they couldn't make it, and you're not racist. Okay, what can you do? You can't win that. So, crazy. Yeah, I did some shark toothing this week. Just went up there and it's funny because I have my little, they're like netting sort, but very fine netting where you put your shark teeth in, you know, you can put it in the water. So I clip it onto my backpack I have with me, and as soon as I sat down, I must have sat on the thing and it broke the little loop I had it thing because it was a plastic loop on the backpack. And I get all the way home and notice my shark teeth aren't with me. Then I went out that night when I was doing my laundry. I took my scooter and retraced the whole thing as far as I could, even into the field a little bit, because it's orange, thankfully. And I didn't see it, and I knew where it was, and I'm like, I bet you that came off. It's because it was hanging down so much, and it's a rough ride out of there. But it's some reason with the e-bike, you end up sitting down because you don't have to pedal hard. So it's kind of actually hard to pedal standing up, so heavy, and it's just awkward for some reason. But I'm like, I bet you as soon as I sat down on that seat, it pulled on that. And it was right where I parked my bike. Went the next day. Nothing even great in there, but it didn't, the container itself was great, you know. In fact, it's right here. You know? But see, I clipped that on and that's fine. But what it was on the backpack, I got some good, like, you know, thumbnail size ones that are full that were pretty cool. Almost seemed like they were out of the same shark mouth. But we're now in the period where it's 30 to 60% rain every day. And like today, it was literally like a quarter mile away and it never reached. There was some wind-swept wetness starting, and I'm like, it's coming. But it never did get all the way there. But there's constant thunderclouds and lightning in the distance, so Now it's kind of dried out. It's nice. So that's Florida life. But I'm thinking I gotta go out west. I just gotta do it because I think about it a lot. And like I picture myself doing things there, out there. It's hard to leave the ocean, but I don't actually go to the ocean a lot, and I can't even live near it unless I start making a lot of money, which I'm not. Which if I can do it playing music, I'm all for it, but I ain't gonna. Probably, we'll see, but I think about going out west, but it's hard to leave the night. Every night of the year is a night. You know, at the worst, you got to put on pants and a sweatshirt for a couple nights in January, maybe February. You know, not even the whole month. It's tough to leave that. Very tough to think freezing your ass off somewhere out west. So we'll see. Sister Susie singing about the festival. So that's where we're at, man. Gig tomorrow. And we'll talk about that next week. So I'll be putting up the gigs today, but today's jam was, I think yesterday went well for the most part. It's tightening up. You know, still adding songs, but for the most part, tightening up. Getting to do a lot of these second, third, fourth time through within a tighter period. But I gotta add Tangled Up in Blue. That's about as much of a concession as I'll make. I enjoy doing it, and I do it a lot when I'm playing. Because it's fun to sing. But I gotta get all the verses down, get at least the beginning. I think I could probably do them if I can just get the beginnings to do them in order. But I do Margaritaville, but I haven't played it. And it's kind of my own little version, stupid version. But I'll give him that. I never thought I would. I didn't ever even think about playing that till he died. I kind of played it that day or whatever. And I'm like, oh, it's fun. But I don't know. I don't think I'll be doing the salt, unless I just accidentally do it. We'll see. All right, man. We will talk probably more times this week. I just like this. It's therapy. You just talk everything out. I don't think I complained about any people this week. Because I'm trying to do my thing, man. Out.